Okay, beauties, let's get started on the nail shaping. And I'm really excited about this because I get questions as a professional about how do you get the nails so perfectly. Now, I got on camera with these nails because, hey, I want this to be as realistic as possible. Typically, this is how we walking around. We not walking around perfect. So I wanted to come on camera because I trusted that you all wouldn't judge me. So this is how my nails currently look. And yes, they need some work, but let's get to it. So I got my painted and polished cuticle oil, and then I have a orange wood stick, and then I have a file, all of which is can be found in your painted and polished manicure kit. All right, so if I'm looking at my nails from this angle, they look one way, okay? Versus if I'm looking at my nails this way. I like to shape looking from this angle. I want to make sure that it looks good from my angle because this is how normally, if I'm working in the studio, this is how the client will see it, right? So you want your nails facing you directly. And then I'm going to show you all a few different shapes since my nails are a few different shapes. So the first shape that I'm going to do is a rounded shape, okay? I'm going to just bring tag closer. All right, so we're gonna start with my pinky nail. And what I also wanna make sure that you know is to use a towel as a rest, is to keep your nails or your hands steady. So use a towel underneath your wrist or the palm of your hand right here. Use a towel to keep it sturdy, okay? Because you're doing this on yourself, so you want to make sure you're as sturdy as possible. All right, so I'm going to start from the side walls. So the first side wall, I'm going to start from this angle, and I'm going to tilt my file at an angle, and I'm going to go round, okay, to the center. Okay, so round to the center. All right, now of course, this is going to take a little bit longer than if you go like this, but I want to make sure that we get it even on both sides. So that's a benefit of doing it this way. It also makes sure that I'm not shredding down the nail. When you're vigorously filing, especially when you're doing it on yourself, you don't realize how, over filing you can be, or aggressively filing that you're doing. So we're going for a more rounded shape. I previously had on some polish, so that's what you can see. But that's real, right? Like, you don't always get it all off. That's just what's real when you're doing your nails yourself. So I wanted to come on as real as possible. All right, so going for that rounded shape, I'm going to the other corner, angling the file, making sure I get that tip of my nail, and I'm bringing it to the center. Okay, taking my time. Again, this is your self-care time. Take your time. All right. So as you can see, that went from a more straight corner to a more rounded corner. At the free edge, it was already kind of rounded, but more rounded, right? More precise. And I'm gonna turn it this way so you can see. Okay, not looking its best just yet. Oh, but wait, right? We're gonna go through this process together. All right, so I want to do, because often people are like, well, how do you do your non-dominant hand? So I wanted to show you all how I do my non-dominant hand too. So this one, it's a little wacky. It's square, but it's perfect for me to show you how I want it to become rounded. All right, so again, we're going to use the file, go towards that free edge, against the side walls. I'm going to take the file and go around, bringing it to the center, okay? Then I'm going to go on the other side, do the same thing, go around and bringing it to the center. Now, because one side is lower than this side is taller, then I'm gonna spend some time more on this side. But you often wanna make sure that you mirror. So if you're going to do this side once, twice, then you wanna come to this side and do this one once, and then again twice, okay? Because that's how you're going to make sure that it's even, okay? So it's coming together. Again, we're taking our time, making sure that we get it how we want it. And it's okay that it takes you a little bit to do this. Again, this is not my dominant hand, so it's gonna take me a little bit, but you see how that's forming? It's forming into the round that we were going for. And it's very important that we align our file, because that's how we're going to make sure we don't have any snags, okay? So this is important for us to take our time to get the shape that we want. Y'all see that? We're gonna have some beautiful nails. All right. Now I'm gonna show you from this angle. See that? Really good, right? I can stand to go a little bit more on this side, just a tad. Again, be as picky as you want, right? This is your self-care moment. Be as picky as you want. This is your quiet time. Be as picky as you want. All right, so we got our pinky, and then we have our middle finger over here. So these are the ones that we went for, more rounded shape. And go back in if you see something else. Get it how you want it, okay? And how we know that it's shaped properly, according, because I say proper, but hear me when I say that everybody's nail plate is different, okay? We talked about nail plates before in our intro video. Everybody's nail plate is different. That's why when you're looking on Pinterest and you're looking at other pictures of nails and you see someone's shape that you like, what you need to understand is it needs to be customized. Your shape needs to be customized to you. That's why when people come into my studio and they bring me pictures, I always say I'm going to put the paint and polish spin on it, because I want to make sure that you have the proper shape that is according to your nail plate, okay? Because everybody's nail plate is not the same, all right? All right, and then once we do that, how we know that it's shaped properly, we're going to align our file against the nail. And we're able to see from that angle, it's rounded on that side. And then we come to this side and we see, let's line it up good. We see that it's rounded on that side as well, okay? And if you look from your cuticle area which what we talked about in the intro video is this area, right? If you look from that area, we already have a shape that God built in for us, okay? So according to that shape, oftentimes people say, I want my natural shape. Well, according to that shape, that's most likely what your natural shape is, okay? But then there are preferences, right? We all have preferences. Sometimes I like my nails rounded, you know, and then there are other times where I'm like, no, I'll go for a more square shaped. So, all right, so we got our round nails. Let's get these other ones out the way so you can see. All right, and I can even take this one, since we've been talking about rounded, my thumbnail, I punctured it, so that's why you see that little discoloration. I made a mistake and like rammed it into the door, so it has a little bruise on there. All right, so this one can be also a more almond shape since it is extended, so I'm going to show you how I do the almond one. All right, so again, I'm going to line it up, hold it at an angle on my side wall, and then I'm going to go up. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the reverse. Again, take your time. Now with the almond shape, it is more tapered, okay? So you're going to not so much as go in here inside of the nail. You want to, or underneath the nail, I should say. You want to go here, starting where this little lip is. So this is what I call the little lip. So we want to shape from here up, okay? You don't necessarily have to get all down in here and start filing. That's how you start digging into the nail plate and oftentimes fracturing, having issues, okay? You don't want to fracture the memory of the nail. That's when splitting starts to happen and just unnecessary traumas to your nail plate. So we're just going to stay right here. That's all we have to do. And because almond is more tapered, I'm going to go for more tapered on the side. I'm gonna do the same thing. I did about 3 or 4 strokes that way. I'm gonna do the same thing this way. Again, take your time. Since it's facing you, that's the best angle so you can see it forming. Take your time. Make sure it's facing you so you can see the shape forming. Now, obviously, you can see it a lot more once I polish, but yeah, I like that. And an almond comes to a point. It comes to a point, so it's not completely rounded at this edge. It comes to a point. Okay. All right. So this pinky, I'm gonna show you on my non-dominant hand, the same. So we're going to go up to the center. Again, I'm using my armrest, my towel armrest to make sure I'm steady. Okay, so I did about 3 or 4 strokes on there. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Now, my nails, I typically don't do, you know, nail enhancements. I typically do gel polish, or I just leave them as they are, like in its natural state, because I work with a lot of acetone. So when you're doing your nail shape, please know that like you want to make sure that it's according to what your lifestyle is. Okay? So if you are in water often, and this is for people who don't have any nail enhancements, don't have any gel or anything of that nature. If you are in water often or typing, you typically want to keep a more square shape. I love how that pinky turned out. So here is the thumb, and here's the pinky. Those are our two almond shaped nails. Super cute. All right, so yes, so let's hop to square. So when you are, yes, in your profession of typing and, just in a lot of water, I highly suggest that you go more shorter and square. That way you are, if you're typing, it's hitting and impacting that way. So it's less likely to, it's going with the motion of what you're working with, right? Typically though, I always tell people you really want to type with this part of your finger. You really don't want to type with your nails, but if people do just out of habit, it's better that it's square. Okay, so that way your nails are not getting caught in between the keys. Okay, now when it comes to square, again, we're looking at the sidewalls and we're making sure that it's aligned. I typically say let's go one way and then go to the next. So this way, oh, got a little snack. Let's see. I typically say let's go center to the center still. So we want our file to be straight across. So we're going here and we're just gonna flatten out. So we're going here, we wanna make sure that we file straight across, and we're just gonna flatten, flush the file to the nail, okay? So we're going straight across. You see how it's forming? Now it was already kind of flat, but it was not even, okay? So we wanna make sure that it's even. Okay. Now you want your edges to be straight, and because I've been wearing my nails kind of rounded, mine go in a little bit more, but you want to kind of turn your nails and turn it this way to kind of see. So if your nails is kind of lapping over here, you want to kind of turn the file so that way you can align it up with your cuticle area, if that makes sense, or your sidewalk area. Can you see that? And you do the same thing over here. If your nails are overlapping out this way, you want to take the file and slowly bring it into this way. Okay, you rock it back and forth. So you go here to here. Okay, let's pull that out a little bit so you can see it better. You want to go here, hold it to the side, and then you rock it to the side wall straight up. I'll show you again because I'm very visual. I want to make sure that you see me. So it's flat, but it still has a little piece of that nail, right? You see that? So if your nail was out here, Mine is already brought in, but if your nails are out here, I wanted to show you that you would lift up that nail that's out here technically, and you want to bring it straight, okay? And you want to go slow again with this part too. We don't want to overly file. This is just me going back and making sure it's as straight as I want it to be. Now I know some people who they don't prefer their sidewalls to be brought in. So if you don't prefer your sidewalls to be brought in, and by sidewalls I mean the free edge. Let me say that again. I know some people who don't like their free edge to be brought in, and that's totally fine. If you want to just have a flat free edge right here, but these corners are wide, it's fine. You can totally leave it how it is. But if you desire to have a more tapered look, then that's how you're able to get it. You're going to file going into the nail and align it up to where the nail grows out. Okay, do the same thing on this side. Align it up. All right, and then that's how you got your square shaped nail. We're gonna fix these nails up, you all, don't worry. Don't worry, but I want it to be as realistic as possible with you all. All right, so we're gonna do my other ring finger. I wanna show you all both, dominant hand shaping, as well as non-dominant. All right, we're gonna get these nails fixed up. I know they're looking crazy, but we're gonna get them fixed up. We're getting there. Let's go to the next. So I wanted to show you all both the dominant as well as the non-dominant. So this is my non-dominant hand, and I'm going over to do my square on my ring finger. It's kind of awkward, but remember to use your armrest as support, okay? All right, so we're going to go one direction. Again, I'm holding the file straight across, flush to the nail, and I'm going this way, which is to the right. Again, take your time, no need to rush. This is your self-care time. Okay, that looks good already. I like to turn it around so I can see it this way too. And then I also want to make sure I show the sidewalls. So again, because I've been wearing my nails kind of rounded, my sidewall is already brought in. My free edge, I should say, is already brought in. But you can always just check. Want to make sure it's nice and straight. Okay. And the reason why I want to make sure that we're going in a more one-way direction is because if you have any like splitting nails, you don't want to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and like rip the nail, right? So I think it's wise when you're doing your own nails to take certain precautions, because you're doing your own nails. You have to have more control. Okay. Alrighty. It looks good to me. All right, so these are the two square nail shapes. Okay. Some people like square, but almost like squoval because they kind of round those, but square is more straight edge. All right. Okay, so we have almond, we have round, we have square. What's another one? Well, with the rest of my nails being so short, I'm just gonna do more round, okay? And I'm doing this because when we put our polish on, you're gonna be able to see it even more. But I'm just gonna round these off. All right.